All right, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 7 of the podcast. Me, my co-host Dre. Like always, we just gonna jump right into it. And right now, we're starting off with, you know what? We gotta apologize to Derrick Henry. We made a video. Could he be the GOAT? We jinxed him. We talked about injuries and things like that, and just so happened, I think it was either the next week or the week after, got hurt for the year. He's gonna be out for the year. So is Jameis Winston. And it's just been a lot of injuries throughout the NFL this year, which is kind of adding up, to be honest. Michael Thomas still hasn't played a game for the Saints and things like that. Dak is out. So what are your thoughts on the injuries this year?
Well, for Derrick Henry, it's terrible because this is probably the closest a running back has been in a while. I mean, I've known people have rushed for 2,000 yards, but this is like the legit closest someone has really been the breaking Eric Dickerson's rushing record. But it's probably a blessing in disguise because even though we talked about it and we said he probably wasn't going to get that many carries, but he was on pace for like over 500 carries. No back had ever carried the ball that many times. And, once you hit that 400, you hit the wall. So this might have technically added maybe, 2 more years of prime, running to his career. But it still sucks for anyone to get injured and to go down and be out for the year. They're still holding out hope he can be back for a playoff run. So we'll have to see. For Dak, it doesn't really much matter because the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East. And as an Eagles fan, it's terrible for me to say that. And I hate saying that, but it's the truth. It's facts. They have a sizable lead. And I don't see – if I were them, because I believe their next 2 opponents are pretty easy. If I were them, I'd don't even try and rush Dak back. It's hard. You can't be playing around calf injuries. So let them rest and they'll be all right. But if they want to play him, I mean, hey, go ahead and do that and sabotage yourself. I'm cool with that. And then Winston, it's a terrible break for Winston because he was playing good. And he was on if I'm not mistaken, if he wasn't on a 1-year deal, this was at least the last year of his deal.
1-year deal.
Yep. So, he's playing for a contract, whether it be with the Saints or somebody else. So I don't know what that means for him next year, but I do know he's playing well. And those horse collar tackles, man, it's always hard. It's always hard to watch, and you always feel for the player. I'm pretty sure White didn't, intend to do it like intentionally, but it's just you're in the heat of the game, things happen, and you're trying to make a tackle and you just grab for the wrong area of the jersey and wrong area of the body, and that kind of stuff happens. So it sucks. But yeah, it's been an injury ravaged year. So it's actually pretty good that these practice squad, call-ups are still a thing like they were during COVID. And I think that's going to be a thing that the NFL would just, keep from here on because it seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah, it is. But, the owners are cheap sometimes. So that's the only problem. You got to pay 3 extra guys. So we'll see where that goes. And obviously, if you're on this channel, I've already touched on the Winston injury. Sucks for the Saints. It's having a solid year, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was on pace for probably under 10 interceptions for the year, which I don't think he's ever done. I'm pretty sure he's never done.
Besides last year.
Exactly. Besides the year he didn't play. So, that sucks for him. Like, 1-year deal. Is he going to come back to the Saints? Who knows? Because Saints probably don't even know what direction we're going, in after the year. Depends on what happens for the rest of the year. But sucks for him. Sucks for Henry. Also, Zach Wilson's out. It's just a lot of guys going down. And it's just the league, though. But it's next man up mentality, and it just is what it is. Also, trade deadline was today at 4:05 Eastern time, fake time as we all know it.
Real people time.
We rock with Central time over here. Don't worry about that, y'all. But yeah, trade deadline was fairly quiet today. It was some rumors, Odell to the Saints, some other things, but the Watson Dolphins never really materialized, things like that. But the only real trade that went down of like magnitude was Von Miller to the Rams. And if you know me, I've always said salary cap is a myth. It doesn't exist. It's just not a real thing. Them guys have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. Like, it's guys on that team getting paid. And the salary cap is just not really a thing. You can finesse the cap and things like that. But anyway, and Von Miller, I'll just go first on here. That's kind of cheating, if we're being honest. Like, that's just kind of something you do on Madden. You start forcing some trades to your team. Just get an all-star team going. that pass rush with Jalen Ramsey out there, man. And it's crazy because every defensive end / outside linebacker that plays with Aaron Donald has a career year. Like Leonard Floyd, other guys, and now you're just gonna add Von Miller. Yeah, good luck. That's all I gotta say. Hey, good luck to defenses. Saints, we're not worried. Our tackles are great. Hey, it's good luck to everybody else though.
Hey, for us, we play the Broncos here in a couple weeks, so it's a blessing for us. We don't even have to worry about him. But I think it's going to be great for him. It's a win-win situation for both teams. The Broncos know that, they're kind of like a mediocre team in a sense, 8-9, probably 9-8, however you want to toss it up. Mm-hmm. So now they get these picks, they've got a good receiving core. They've got a good young running back. They've got a solid young defense. So they can use those picks to trade for, possibly an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or anybody like that might be available in the offseason. So it's a good trade for them for Von Miller. This is the first time probably since ever that he's going to be on the defense where he's not the sole star or the sole focus. Just because he's there, teams aren't going to start double teaming him. Like Aaron Donald is still everybody's focus. He's still in his prime, still the best defense player in the league. A generational talent. So he's still going to get double teamed. So now you've got Von Miller and Leonard Floyd coming off the edge, both of them single block. Like that's going to be a problem. And you got Jalen Ramsey in the back. Like I understand that you still win championships with your quarterback play and stuff like that. But you got to think in the NFC, you've got the Bucs, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals, with high flying offenses. The Rams have the best defense out of the four of those teams to stop either one of them, of course, barring injury and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting come playoff time. I think it's a great fit. Like you said, salary cap's a myth. I saw a rumor today saying, not really a rumor, but a report saying that they're already thinking about trying to re-sign him to a contract so he's around beyond this season.
Doesn't even make any sense, man. I don't know where the money comes from.
So, it is what it is. But I think what the Rams are doing, they're just like, we drafted Jared Goff with the first overall pick. We drafted all these other people. It ain't working out. We don't need these draft picks. Let's just cut all this and do what we got to do to basically just, win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it looks like we have some technical difficulties over here. And we're back. Nothing really happened there, but we'll just, shift gears right here to our offensive and defensive players of the week. Gonna switch it up this week. Let's go defensive players first. Who you have for your defensive guy? And please don't say the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
I'm not. Actually, for defensive and offensive player of the week, I have no one from the Eagles because even though I'm glad that we won 44-6, because, if you're playing a bad team, you at least should show that you're playing a bad team. Mm-hmm. But we were playing a bad team. So, but I'm happy we won. It was a great team win, but no, none of them made the list. But I am going to give a little kudos to Slay. He did return to Detroit, and he played a great game. Covered the fumble, took it for a touchdown. Kudos to him. But no, my defensive player of the week is safety Adrian Phillips for the Chargers. Same thing, almost in the same line with Slay. He went up against his old team, and he got 2 picks. One of them was a pick 6, sealed the game. And as a player, it's always great when you go up against your old squad and you're pretty much like a major factor in your team winning and beating them. And he was a big factor in the Patriots winning that game. So I'm going to give him defensive player of the week.
My defensive player of the week is none other than a man I've trashed his entire career, P.J. Williams of the Saints. And I shouldn't just give him the player of the week. Everyone in the world should, because if he didn't, catch that pick 6 off Tom Brady in the game, we wasn't going to hear the end of it. If Brady drove down, had another game-winning drive, like we were never going to hear the end of it. We were just here, go, 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 greatest ever, 117 game-winning drives. I'm so glad he did that. End that noise. He ended the game, on the pick 6. Everyone did say he was going to score a touchdown that drive. They just didn't say which team. So technically, everyone was right. P.J. Williams, we appreciate you for that. P.J. Williams, my defensive player of the week from the Saints. And switching over to offensive guys, who do you have there? Because I might have a little shocker.
Well, I'm going to give it to Mike White, quarterback for the Jets. First career start, going out there against the Bengals, who have been red hot, like just demolished the Ravens last week. here the entire Jets team played well. And I understand they still gave up 31 points, but still to be in there with, one of the top AFC teams in the division, and you to go out there with your first career start, you're throwing 400 yards, throw, I believe, 2 touchdowns. He also caught a 2-point conversion. Everybody running the Philly now. So
Clemson did it first, but it's all good.
But he played well, and his team won the game because he played well. So I'm gonna give it to him. First career start, he did well.
My offensive player of the week is none other than Gino Smith from the Seahawks. Played terrible against the Saints. Came out this week. He was, I think, like 20 for 23 or something like that. 2 touchdowns, added a rushing touchdown. And I mean, before Russell Wilson got hurt, I just kind of forgot all about Geno Smith. I knew he was their backup quarterback, but I mean, it's Russell Wilson there. You're never expecting to see the backup quarterback. He came in and he played okay, that game. So maybe he'll extend his career by 3 more years. As a backup, all you have to do is keep your head down, don't get in trouble, play good once every 2 years. You can keep a job.
Win a game or 2 every now and then.
Yep, and he's done that. So kudos to him for doing that. He's my offensive player of the week. And now we'll get to these games of the week, and they are kind of trash, to be honest. But, hey, we'll still go. Thursday game, Jets versus the Colts. I don't think it'll be, too much. Well, I don't know. Mike White's out there. Never mind. I don't know.
I was about to say, so that could be a little interesting because, good old Walker to him Wentz, threw the game away for the Colts twice.
Mm-hmm.
Just, oh gosh. But hey, this works out for us because we got the first round pick. So hey, kudos to him. But I do think the Jets will probably lose that game. I'm gonna give it to the Colts.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give that one to the Colts as well. I mean, like I said, it's the Jets. They got their 1 win. They're not winning again probably this year. They don't want to win. They're gonna tell Mike White to calm down. Calm down, buddy.
That's what, 2 wins on the season for them right now?
2-5. 2-5. Next up, Chargers versus the Eagles.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the Chargers actually are the worst rush defense in the league.
And y'all won't
and we just ran the ball for our season high and 236 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So if Nick Sirianni just uses that same game plan, we might be all right. So I'm gonna go Eagles, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be low scoring. It's gonna be 17-14.
Well, I think the Eagles are at home, and they are 0-3 at home this year. So I'm just going with the Chargers for that reason, and that reason only. Another game of the week. This is real good. This is probably the best game of the week. The Packers versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are struggling. Packers are rolling 7 in a row. I'll go first here. I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because the COVID situation, and I have to pick today. So I just assume that 1 or 2 of those guys will be out. And I think the Chiefs turn a new leaf, and they win that game. They're at home, by the way, too. So if that changes your opinion.
Wait, who's at home? Chiefs or Packers?
Chiefs are at home. I mean, it's only right since it's Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna go Packers. I really don't want to.
The spread is literally even, so it's a toss-up. It's a pick'em game.
Because it really is, because is Devontae Adams going to be off the COVID list? They just released Jalen Smith after signing him like 4 weeks ago. Let's see here. Really, they should have traded for someone like Odell. That would have been a great pickup for them. Chiefs are kind of, I don't know. Let's make it interesting. I'm gonna say Chiefs. I'm gonna say Packers just so we can have something different.
Next game up. Well, this would have been probably a pick'em game, but it's not anymore. Titans and Rams. I mean, Rams added Von Miller. Titans lost Derrick Henry. That's Rams. And the Monday night game is the Bears versus the Steelers. Both teams more like must win. Bears are 3-5. They basically need to win that game. And Steelers are 4-3. They basically need to win that game as well.
Justin Fields played pretty well against the 49ers defense. I'm gonna go Bears. I'm gonna go with the underdog this game. Because even though the Steelers beat the Browns, their offense, like, it was more so their defense than their offense. So if the Bears can, move the ball just a little bit against that defense, I think they could potentially pull that out.
I'm going with the Bears here. I don't know why. I just don't like Big Ben playing football right now. He looks bad. It looks real bad out there. Looks old, super old. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears right there. And that'll wrap up episode 7, man. We'll be back next week. Next week will be kind of a mid-season review. So be on the lookout for that. We'll kind of go through our predictions from week 1, or I guess before week 1, and see how we're holding up there. And catch us next week, man. It's episode 7, and we out.